Under the Tools tab, Transaction Services makes available to all of their merchant customers a virtual terminal. The virtual terminal allows the merchant to process a credit card transaction in either a card not present or card present manner. So if I came in here and I said I wanted to process a $10 transaction, I have the option of using a card or a token, which I'll talk about in just a second. Whether or not I want that transaction to be card present, which would require a swipe device, a piece of hardware, or card not present, which is most commonly used when people are taking orders over the phone. And then it asks for the expiration, the card verification value, or CVV, CID for Amex, which is 4 digits. And then you have the option of entering the account information, the person's first name, last name, email, phone, address. You can also optionally add shipping information, or there's the checkbox here to use the standard account information. And then we support what we call additional custom name value fields. We actually allow you unlimited custom name value fields, but custom name value fields are the idea that you as an individual merchant might need to track some information with sales that wouldn't be tracked by all other customers. So for example, you might want to collect a customer number or an invoice number that would be tied to that order for all times. And if you enter that here, you can go ahead and do it. If I key in, because this is a test system, just a standard fake credit card number, you'll notice that we do what's called credit card checking, where we verify if the card could be valid or not. If it's not possibly a valid card, in other words, if you've miskeyed or somebody's provided you a number in error, the system will automatically tell you that, which prevents you from being charged an authorization fee on a card that wouldn't otherwise ever be accepted. If the card is valid, the system will allow you to continue, and then you can go ahead and choose the expiration date, the CVV information, enter the cardholder's name. Address is optional, but if you include the address, an address verification check will be performed when the credit card is processed, and the value of that might help you in the case where that transaction might be disputed in the future. And again, the custom name value fields can be anything. A ridiculous example I like to provide is eye color. The reason is because eye color has absolutely nothing to do with the credit card transaction. But if you tell me how many blue-eyed customers you have, I can give you a report and tell you exactly how many people have blue eyes. When you submit the transaction immediately, you get a transaction approval receipt and the option to go ahead and print that receipt from your local computer. We also have an option I'll show you later on that if you included an email address, our system can automatically email a copy of the receipt to either you or the cardholder. And immediately after processing a transaction, if you go to Reporting and Transaction Search, you'll see that that transaction is immediately available in real time. More on reporting later. Actually, if I briefly look at that report, you'll notice that we have a reference section. And in that reference, we have something called a GUID, a Global Unique ID. This big ugly number is very important to our system because it allows us to store all credit cards for all time throughout our system. So when I go back to that virtual terminal, if I chose the option of token instead of card, I can paste that global unique ID, that GUID, into our field, and by clicking Find, I immediately retrieve that credit card data in a secure masked format. So the value is, and this is quite unique to us, we can go ahead and process transactions, either a void, a refund, or a subsequent sale without having to have that card number again. Again, this is really unique because a lot of times our competitors will say you need to contact that cardholder and obtain that credit card number again in order to do any subsequent sale. And that's not the case here. So this solves the problem for whenever you've done a transaction and maybe you've miskeyed the amount or the customer has changed their order, you can go back and make changes to that order. From the transaction drop-down, this user account currently only has a sale, but that again is a configuration setting, and so we could go in and we could turn on this account for any number of additional transaction types. By the way, you'll notice when I did the token lookup, it retrieved the address information I entered and the user-defined information. So if I hit submit, I now get another subsequent transaction approved.